8 o'clock on a Sunday evening. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man who's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, "Son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, I hope you are, and you've got us feeling all right." Now John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. He gets me my drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke, or he'll light up his smoke. But there's some place that he'd rather be. Oh, he said, "John, I believe this is killing me," as a smile ran away from his face. "Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place." La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Paul was a real estate novelist who never had time for a wife. And he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy, and probably will be for life. Oh, and the waitress is practicing politics as the businessman slowly gets stoned. Oh, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. That's a pretty good crowd for a summer's evening and a Sunday, a very, very hot Sunday. And I'm dripping and sweating like a pig. And I'm terribly comforted because Sue is too over there. And I know that she's not going to do a jig. Hey, that was on the spot. I just did that, okay? It's not bad, was it? What's the word? And the manager gives me a smile. That's the one, that way. Go on, smile, Sue.
I did.
Give a smile better. That's it. Okay, now off. 'Cause she knows that it's me they've been coming to see. And I'm we're having a week off, okay, after this, so I'm just going to remind you all that you know that she knows that it's me they've been coming to see. to forget about life for a while. Oh, and the piano, it sounds like a carnival, and the microphone, it smells like a beer, and there's tea at the bar and the bread in my jar, and say, man, what are you doing here? Good question. La la la, it's for you. La la la, that's why we're here. Oh yeah. La la la, la la la, la la. Right, sing it with me now. You must know it now. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. How difficult that is.
Hello everyone, welcome. They're all queuing up. They're all eating their choc ices, drinking their lemonade, sitting by the fan.
I bet you are doing.
They've all got their feet in a bowl of water, I think.
Sorry, they're just licking. You're sitting by iced water. Yes. Right, excuse me, but this is going to have to happen
yes,
a lot.
Yes, a lot, yes. Intravenously, I think.
Oh, boy. And even I've got kidney problems. I don't really care. I'm just going to keep
drink.
This one goes out to a great friend tonight, Sylvia Newman. We send you big love. And the cotton is your daddy's rich, and your mom's good looking. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your ma is so good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. You're gonna spread your wings and you take to the sky. Your daddy's a woman in the morning. You're gonna rise up singing with your mommy and with your mommy and daddy standing by. cotton is oh so very, very high. Your daddy's rich, and your mom is so good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. And as the sweat drips off and runs down my back, do nothing till you hear from me. Pay no attention to what's said. Why people tear the seam of anyone's string is over my head. Do nothing till you hear from me. At least consider our romance. If you should take the words of others you've heard, oh, I haven't a chance. What you have been seeing with someone new, that doesn't mean I've been untrue while we're apart. The words of my heart reveal how I feel about you. Some kiss may cloud my memory, and other arms may hold a thrill. But please do nothing till you hear it from me, baby. Oh, you never will, mama. True, I've been seen with someone new, that doesn't mean I've been untrue or apart. The words of my heart reveal how I feel about you. Some kiss may cloud my memory, and other arms may hold a thrill. But please do nothing till you hear it from me. Oh, do nothing till you hear it from me. Do nothing till you hear it from me. Baby, you never will. I fancied just doing that one tonight because I went through my song lists and I was thinking I haven't done that one since.
You're not exactly doing ones that are sort of just
No.
and sitting still and keeping quiet, are you really?
Yeah, but I'm not a sit still kind of quiet guy, am I?
No.
And we're going away for it, but so we're not doing one. This is show number 5, 10, 15, 19. We've done 19 shows since we started this. This little, it's like an escapade, really, isn't it? Yeah. It's like a kind of 5 go down, or it was 2 go into the Steinway room.
And 2 are still in the Steinway room.
Yes. But over this 19, we've had guests. We're going to have guests. We've got, when we come back, the week we come back, we're going to have the lovely singer-songwriter and friend of ours, Sue Rinaldi. Is that good?
What we've got is join us next week for a Sunday evening special from a new location here on Jonathan's live stream at 8 p.m.
Yeah, watch for that. So you won't see us live, but you'll see me doing various things. And Rachel, who, as we speak, and as you know, Rachel and Claire, without whom we couldn't do this. Now they're going to come down and have a little holiday with us in September sometime. And it must be said that Rachel is a particular lover of pink dresses and fascinators.
So wicked.
She loves it. She loves stuff like that. She's a techie who loves to just dress up. So she's going to come in and we're going to put her in the pink bedroom and we're going to give her pink. Everything's going to be pink, all right? She's got only black in her wardrobe. That is it.
She's just written me a message. She's just sitting there shaking her head. Do you know what? You have to be very careful because she's on the on-off button.
Yeah, well,
she could just switch you off completely.
Hey. Now that was Do Nothing Till You Hear From Me, which is an old Count Basie tune, and Count was he was quite a wonderful arranger and writer, and he was at the forefront of modern jazz, and we love him. We've got so many things to talk about tonight.
Can I just say, before you start the next one,
Go on,
a big welcome to all of you who are new tonight.
Oh, yeah,
we
hello.
may have been going for 19 weeks, but for you, this is your first one. And we, the whole JV community, would like to welcome you. So thank you for joining us.
There was one song, did you pick up on the song that they wanted yesterday? I think somebody had keyed in. Had you forgotten that?
Probably not. I don't have enough information
Somebody
to go.
phoned in and said, "This is my first time. Could you sing me a song?" You've
That
forgotten.
was Judy, wasn't it? That was
Judy
a lady
who?
called Judy Steele.
Judy,
can you remind us what the song was that you said you wanted? I
So,
think we're probably doing it,
in
but
between
just
times,
remind us.
what we'll do is I'll do a song that was requested today. Again, you know, this evening is for singing songs of all types. Often gospel songs and some hymns that people love me doing from my albums, all the 13 albums or something that I've done. And they request that. And from time to time, things that are not on the albums, which I do for people sometimes, if I think it's doable. And but I've sung for years and different types of stuff. And this evening, these 2 hours, are for people, I say every week, and I keep saying it, it's for people with faith, with no faith, and with people in between. We welcome everybody to this, okay? It's a relaxing time. We have a bit of kind of a phone call in the middle, and we chat to people about issues and things that might be arising, where we are, the situation we're in, and we've got a great call with my former vicar, David Bracewell, a speaker, writer, and a formidable 76-year-old, I think he's smiling now as I say this now, with a man still with a lot to say and with a brilliant way of saying it. I'll talk about him later. But this one is for, Al and Lorna wrote me, well particularly Al wrote this, and Al's been one of those great supporters over all these weeks, who she's never stopped supporting, writing and saying, well done, this is going well, keep going. And over the lockdown album, which is coming on beautifully, I think we've got over £17,000 now. I think it's £17,100. And if you haven't contributed to that and like to see things happen, then please do.
17,200.
17,200. There we go, brilliant. Which is at least 16,000 more than I thought we'd get. Yes. So you've been terrific. And we're making plans. We're talking constantly about probably recording on the 6th, 7th, and 8th night, of September. So we're starting to plan when we come back with the week after next. We're doing pre-production, what's called pre-production. I plan with Mark how we're going to do it, which songs we're going to do. There's going to be lots of debate about that at the moment. And there are going to be some winners and some losers. There's definitely going to be that. But it will reflect a little bit of what we've been doing here with popular secular songs and some gospel songs and some spirituals, and who knows what will happen after that. This one is an old Billy Joel song that I used to sing in D major. Don't go changing, but it's very high, so I've just got to put it down to C. Never played it in C before, so good luck with me. Don't go changing to try and please me. You never let me down before. Don't imagine you're too familiar. I don't see you anymore. Don't want clever conversations. I never want to work that hard. I took the good times. I'll take the bad times. I'll take you just the way you are. Don't go trying some new fashion. change the color of your hair. You always had my unspoken passion, although I might not seem to care. Oh, I don't want clever conversations. I never want to work that hard. I just want someone that I can talk to. I love you just the way you are. I need to know that you will always be the same old someone that I knew. Oh, what will it take till you believe in me the way that I believe in you? I said I love you, and that's forever, and this I promise from the heart. If I could love you any better, I love you just the way you are. Oh, just the way you are. Now, what I have seen, Sue, on here is Thine Be the Glory.
Yes.
Now, could you do me a favour?
Yes.
While I'm singing the next song,
Yes.
right?
You want me
could
to go and
and
get you the
print it
words?
off so I can have the
Because I'm multi-talented.
You are. You are indeed. And that song was also for Sue, because I used to sing it to her in that little club in the in the Battersea. That's what it's called now, not Battersea. Battersea, gentrified. Don't
You mean when you were playing in the restaurant there?
in the restaurant. I used to play in the restaurant. And that was back 1979 when we were first, and I had to earn a living. And I went and played there 3 nights a week. And I remember everybody else went out and got a job at Tesco's or something. And I went down into Battersea on my push bike that my dad had bought me. And I rode down the hill into Battersea. And it was coming up Battersea Rise, the other end. And there was this place called Le Grand Café Battersea. And the young trendies had already taken over Battersea and had started to gentrify in a massive way. Property was going through the roof at the time. That was 79. And so I'd started university then. And I was looking for the job. So I just went and knocked on the door, and it was a lunchtime. And I knocked on it, and it was closed. And
Well,
I saw a
you'd
piano.
noticed there was a piano,
I'd
hadn't
noticed
you?
there's a piano. No, I think we'd gone for a
Yeah, probably a burger there or
burger
something.
Yeah. And in fact, it was before you. It was before I was going out with you.
Oh, it's another girl
So
then, was it?
another woman.
Another woman.
So I knocked on the door, and the man answered. I remember him. He was, and he came out. He said, "Yes." I said, "I see you've got a piano." I said, "Can I play it for you, and then you can pay me?" And would that be okay? And I was. You have to understand, I was 18. I hadn't.
Shy, weren't you?
I was very shy. I was very shy at that time. You know I was.
I do.
And I had a mop of black hair. Just imagine. I was good looking.
You are really stretching their imagination.
Yeah, I know.
aren't you,
I was white in those days.
You were very slim too.
So anyway, I went in, and the guy said, "Well, okay." He said, "You come and play." And he heard me. I just played a couple of songs, and he said, "Well, come back tomorrow night." And he said, "I'll give you £10 a night." All right, £10 a night. And he said, "All the burgers you can eat." So I thought, well, £10 a night. In those days, you could buy a 3-bedroom house with £20. So I was doing quite well. So I thought, okay, and still have change to go to Bermuda. Hello, the Matthews, watching in Bermuda. I hope you are watching in Bermuda anyway. And so I went back, and that started a 2.5-year tenure in that place. And I played another place as well.
And you used to play that song for me.
I used to play that song for you, and it was when it pretty much first came out. It was Piano Man was just out, and I got the album. It was the big album. So when I'm going to sing this one, Sue, which is go on.
Judy contacted us, and she said it was All That Matters that she wanted.
Oh, All That Matters. Well, I tell you what. You go upstairs and get that. I'll do that song now.
Excuse me, folks. I'll be back. I promise. I won't leave you to him.
This is from an album I recorded called All That Matters. And it was written by a lady called Judy Mackenzie Dunn. And she gave me this song, and I used it for the title track of the album called All That Matters. You can see it online on YouTube from the BBC. The BBC filmed it with Alan Jones, as a matter of fact. Big interview with him, so you can watch that. Here's life in all its mystery, the beauty and the tragedy, the silence and the symphony, and everything between. And deep inside the heart of man, the need to know and understand. Are we a part of some great plan, or just a passing dream? Philosophers philosophize, ready look you in the eyes, and politics is compromise that rides the ebb and flow. Money talks and fashion screams to fill the space inside your dreams. You want something to believe, I'll tell you what I know. My maker is my savior, my creator is also my friend, and to find him and his favor is all that matters in the end. Age decrees we may not speak in certainties, but that's what Jesus is to me, the bedrock of my soul, a savior who can really save, a power stronger than the grave, the greatest gift I'll ever have, the deepest joy I know. My maker is my savior, my creator is also my friend, and to find him and his favor is all that matters in the end. Oh, my maker is my savior, my creator is also my friend, and to find him and his favor is all that matters, is all that matters, it's all that matters in the end. Now that's to prove that this is a live show. I wasn't going to do that one. Oh, are they? Well,
that's all right. Well, but they all love that. Sorry, they all love that. So that's a no.
And what are they asking for now?
Someone asked for Bridge Over Troubled Water, but I suggested that you probably would do it in 2 weeks' time. Do you want this one?
Thank you. And that's another one. Bridge Over Troubled Waters. If I take it out,
I think you might be a bit hot for that, lovey.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I'm just having a look. Who asked for it?
That was Linda.
Linda, can I? Because I haven't got it in front of me. I don't think. It's 1,000 words I've got to remember in about a zillion, and it is one of those songs with 1,000 words.
A quick run upstairs.
No more runs because you've got the runs. No, you don't want the runs. You do not want to do.
Whilst Jonathan's looking,
can't find it.
A few people are talking about the radio interviews. So thank you for those who tuned in to Hope FM, Rob Barron's wonderful radio show. That was a fantastic,
nice to have you back,
fantastic show. Rob, can they listen to it again if they sort of look for last Monday? And certainly UCB2. Oh, yes, apparently. That's the answers come back quickly from lovely Rachel.
Excellent.
And UCB2 was an interview that Jonathan and I did about 18 months ago.
Yeah, long time ago,
they replayed it, and then they had just a sort of brief snippet of Jonathan and I talking about what's been happening during lockdown. And I don't think she was expecting... I don't think they were expecting that. I think they were... just sort of how's it going for you? And of course we were telling them all about you guys. So
it became a real kind of,
It was lovely.
Anyway,
it was
I
really
haven't got
lovely.
it here. Sorry, darling. And I can't remember the...
Next time.
One that I do want to do, and I think... Oh, yeah. I'm going to do this one.
So the list that you and I worked so hard on is now become a complete...
Yeah, I know, and as people ask for things...
Yes, I know, but there are some people who are on the list for a reason, so I don't want you to miss those.
Here we go. This is for Ruth Reed, who waited a week for this. And Ruth, I hope you're there listening out in the garden with your chalk ice. And this song I sung for Sue in the studio in Nashville, in Tennessee, where we recorded this album, It Is Well, and this was a song on the album. As usual, the albums contain a mixture of spiritual, gospel, and secular songs, and this is one. Must have been cold there in my shadow, to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. That's your way. You always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, but you were the one with all the strength. Beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? Everything I would like to be. Oh, I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. Might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. Of course I know it, that I would be nothing without you. to tell you you're my hero. You're everything I wish I could be. I could fly higher than the eagle. 'Cause you are the wind beneath my wings. Actually was for Ruth Reed, and for many people out there for whom they may have lost partners tonight, and for whom that was their the song that they used to believe about their partners, really. And it could be a sad song as well as a happy song. Anyway, here's a big song.
And this one is for very dear friends, Kate and Tim. And it's a way of us saying thank you for all your many acts of kindness. You came to see us yesterday, and you brought lunch, you brought flowers, and much more between.
Played
and,
a lot of Chopin
played a lot of piano.
And that pleased me no end.
And it was a lovely time, and we thank you for your loving kindness, and this is for you.
That old man river must know something. Don't say nothing now. It just keeps rolling, keeps on rolling along. Potatoes, he don't plant cotton. Them that plants them, he soon forgotten all. But old man River just keeps rolling. Sweat and strain, body all aching, and racked with pain. Tote that barge, lift that pail, get a little drunk, and you land in jail. Oh, I get weary and sick of trying. Tired of living, and I'm scared dying. Oh, but river just keeps rolling You and me. tote that barge, lift that pail, you get a little drunk and you land in weary and sick of trying, tired of living, and I'm scared of dying. Oh, an old man river, he just keeps rolling along. Just keeps rolling,
Wow, that was amazing, JV.
You're
really
right.
lovely, darling, actually, really lovely. So, yes, have a drink.
Oh.
You would have expired rather a lot there, but that was flipping fantastic.
This one is for...
This one is for Pete Windmill. It's your birthday today, and a lot of people have asked if we can play something for you. So this is particularly from your lovely wife, Chris, and also from Gareth and Joy, and also Helen. They all asked if we could play something, and we thought we heard that you rather like this one. So this one, happy birthday, Pete Windmill, is for you.
When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. I sing, oh, the bliss of this glorious thought. My sin, not in part, but the whole, is nailed to the cross, and I bear it no more. Praise the Lord, oh my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. And Lord, haste the day when my faith shall be sight, the clouds be and peace like a river. Thine be the glory, risen conquering Son, and this is the victory our death has won. Angels in bright raiment rolled the stone away, kept the folded grave close where thy body lay. Thine be the glory, risen conquering Son, and this is the victory our death has won. Lord Jesus meets us, risen from the tomb. Lovingly he greets us, scatters fear and gloom. Let the church with gladness hymns of triumph sing. For the Lord now liveth, death has lost its sting. Thine be the glory, risen conquering Son, and this is the victory our death has won. Long war without thee, glorious Prince of life. Nothing's up without thee, aid us in our strife. Make us more than conquerors through thy deathless love. Bring us safe through Jordan to thy home above. Thine be the glory, risen conquering Son, and this is the victory our death has won. It wouldn't be normal that you sing. That reminds me of Marden when I had to play that on the pump organ.
Yes,
Remember
indeed. Now, that was for Sheila and Roy, who are celebrating 59 years of marriage,
Unbelievable.
which is amazing.
This is painful.
And they wanted that, possibly because they had that at their wedding, but actually they wanted to sing. And I hope you're all joining in, because we all miss proper singing, don't we?
We do,
miss
and that's
singing
going to be
together.
something else we talk about a bit later on.
Yes.
Right, we've got one more song, and then we're going to have a video. And
Which one are we going to do? Because you've missed one out. So.
I know we will.
Which one are you going
I
to
think
do?
I'm going to
then?
do. I think I'd like to do. This one is for Rob, because I'll see if I can sing it. He loves Les Mis. You can't kick Les Mis into touch. And I was going to do that one, and we can maybe, we've got time, we might do that in the second half. Okay, after this one.
Don't miss them because they're for someone.
Which one? Which one?
Both.
Which one do I?
Just a closer, and I love that we'll not let it go.
Okay. Oh, right. You make me laugh. Don't miss this. Don't miss that. I've got to sing this one. I've got to sing. This is it. I can't.
Can I just point out that we do a carefully worked out
Sorry,
programme?
do you mind? I'm in the beginning. I'm trying to start the song.
Go on.
Do you mind? Don't just start explaining to people. This is the programme. It's a work of fiction, ladies and gentlemen. Work of fiction. Okay. It's Mills and Boon, right? God on the heart, hear my prayer in my need. You have always been there. Is your like the sun I might have known. If God had granted me a son, the summers die one by one, how soon they fly on and on, and I am old and will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He's young, he's only a boy. Let him be, let him be. If I die, let me die. Let him be.
Okay, all right.
You see?
That was great, and they all loved it.
They all went, yeah. That's
Thank
JV.
you, JV. Thank you, JV.
Well, thank you, JV. And that's for Rob, and that's also, I'm going to just say this, for Kira and Alex, who are listening tonight, one of my students, and I have to say a big shout out to any students that are listening to me, to my ex-student Hannah, who's listening up there in Liverpool with her parents. A big shout out to all my kids who've had to endure a lot actually during this lockdown period, and for students that got results on in Scotland, and for those who are waiting, you know, had my son, had it been, it would have been a bad year
Yes, it would have
for
been
my
a bad
sons, because boys never do any work until the last moment, so they're all going, what do you mean you did it on the marks? So, you know, that's what, but we think of those.
Yeah, we're thinking of you all.
I think we have a video, and then we'll.
Okay.
No,
right.
do
yes,
you want?
that's fine.
Would you rather?
Yes.
Oh, love that will not let me go.
Yes, please. Could you do that, because this is specially for
All right, David.
Jill and Mike.
Mike, sorry.
It's their 34th anniversary today, so that's specifically for you.
I'm just going to say, David, if you're listening out there, David Bracewell, I will be phoning you probably 5 minutes later than I said I was going to. So we'll just knock it on, okay? So David, are you listening? Are you watching now? Stand by your phone after this song. Well, actually, after a video. Oh, love that will not let me go, I rest my weary soul in thee. I give thee back the life I owe, that in thine ocean depths flow may reach a fool to be. May reach a fool to be. I want Jesus to walk with me. was his borrowed rain, that in night sunshine's plays its day may brighter, fairer be, may brighter, fairer be. Oh, perfect love, unchanging love, oh, love that will not let me go. Oh, perfect love, unchanging love, oh, love that never lets me go. Oh, joy that seekest me through pain, I cannot close my heart to thee. I trace the rainbow through the rain and feel the promise is not vain, that morn shall tearless be, that morn shall tearless be. Oh, perfect love, unchanging love, oh, love that will not let me go. Oh, perfect love, unchanging love, oh, love that never lets me go. Oh, cross that liftest up my head, I dare not ask to fly from thee. I lay in dust life's glory dead, and from the ground there blossoms red life that shall endless be, life that shall endless be. Oh, perfect love, unchanging love, oh, love that will not let me go. Oh, perfect love, unchanging love, oh, love that never lets me go.
Just beautiful, Jonathan, just beautiful. And it's particularly important for a couple of people. For Mandy, you've got your appointment on Tuesday to check up on the cancer that you had removed. And we also want to mention Graham Harrison, who thought that he had been cured of cancer, and it turns out that he hasn't. They got the wrong Harrison. So JV community, you need to be praying for these two people this week. So that's Mandy for Tuesday and for Graham Harrison.
And we're thankful too for Brother Andrews out there.
Yes.
And his results for Kevin have turned out to be
good.
Positive.
And for John Dick's mum, who's doing
Dick's
well,
mum,
which is great. Peter's mum,
Peter,
who I believe is doing okay.
He's doing okay.
Yeah.
There are many other people out there, and we think of David Hick.
Yes, who needs
in his
prayer.
family situation.
Yeah. Oh, Love That Will Not Let Me Go is just something to hang on to.
That one, and that was a new tune. Those of you who don't know, that's a new tune that I wrote from an album, Hymns Project 1, that has gone around the country and gone around the world a bit, which is rather lovely. We're going to watch a video.
We are going to watch a video. It's Songs of Praise before Matthew had a beard. So watch and enjoy.
I want Jesus to walk with me I want Jesus to walk with me all along my pilgrim journey. I want Jesus to walk with me. Oh, in my trials, oh Lord, walk with me. Oh, in my trials, oh Lord, walk with me. Oh, when the shades are falling, I want Jesus to walk with me. When my sorrows, walk with me. In my sorrows, oh Lord, walk with me. Oh, when my heart is aching, I want Jesus right there to walk with me. Oh, in my joys, oh Lord, walk with me. Oh, in my joys, oh Lord, walk with me. Oh, when my life is filled with laughter, I want Jesus to walk with me. In my trials, oh Lord, walk with me. In my sorrows, walk with me. In my joys, walk with me. I want Jesus to walk with me. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little excavation back into my son's younger days, into the world of songs of praise. And we were doing I Want Jesus to Walk With Me, and that was that goes out particularly to Nicola and Adrian in the Isle of Wight for their kindness and concern and love and everything else. And in fact, while we're here, to the whole of the Isle of Wight, I want Jesus to walk with me. We're just so thrilled to be going over there very soon. So now I've just been on the phone and I've got him. I've managed to get the man who's living in Derby now. David, are you there?
Hello, Jonathan, I'm here.
Right, Reverend Bracewell. Well, actually, let me give you. Can I give you a proper title? Reverend Canon David Bracewell. Is that correct?
That will do. That will do nicely.
That will do. Okay, the right Reverend. I think the right Reverend. I don't even know what they're called. Anyway, David, hello, welcome to the show. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Lovely to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I feel deeply honoured.
Well, it's been something we've had on our minds for a long time. We've had the good and the great, and you were the only person left now to have.
Well, that's right. I realise I'm 18 down the line, but never mind. Hey, it's good to be here.
It's good to be 18th. You know, I mean.
Well, indeed. No, I'm not 18. I'm 67.
67. If only you were. Just turn it around a little bit. So, David.
Well, I think earlier you said 76. So you've always got confused with numbers. Yes, but never mind. Anyway,
David, tell it that you were my vicar for 27 years here. I arrived at St Saviour's when I was 27. I'm now 59, and you left. When did you leave Guildford?
I left Guildford I left St Saviour's in 2010.
Did you really? Was it 10 years ago? Oh my goodness!
It's 10 years ago. Oh. And since then, we've lived in 3 different houses.
Yes.
So we've moved around a bit. Oh, my wife's just come in.
And so right, she's coming in. Welcome, Sue. Sue is. I hope she can go and listen to you. And where are you now? Where are you now living?
We're now living in the north side of Derby, a place called Alistry.
And it's a very beautiful place too, actually. If you don't
it's
mind.
quite posh.
Yeah, it is. It is, as you would imagine, quite posh for Derby.
But there's no Waitrose.
How are you getting on? Look,
well,
I think
it's difficult.
David, we have a whole community here who can pray for things like that. You know,
we'd be very grateful. Well, when I moved in, I did send a letter to customer services of Waitrose, and I said, look, we're an elderly couple, we don't get out much, but we do enjoy a cup of tea in Waitrose. Is there any chance that you could open a store here? And Charlotte wrote back and said we're so sorry, Mr. Bracewell, but wish you well in your. I mean, she didn't actually say in your dotage, but that was the feeling. Anyway, there we go. There's no Waitrose.
There's no Waitrose.
But we're fine.
Well, okay,
but we're well.
You'll survive with the co-op. Now, David, we go back a long way, and do you remember those early days? Just to say to people, we came along into Guildford 33 years ago now, pretty much, and we had come to the church a couple of times when Sue's parents lived close, and we came to hear, and we heard this man. Somebody said, "Come along to St Saviour's. You've got to hear this man preach." And David, he's a diminutive figure. He's about 4'6", and aren't you, David?
Yeah, on a good day.
On a good day, yeah. And he preached a sermon, and I can't even tell you what that sermon was, but what I can tell you was the effect it made on both of us. And we left, and we talked about it as being, you make a big church, and it was a big church then, a big church feel very personal. It felt like, once again, and I learned a lot about communication and the show that I do now, about making people feel that they're the only people in the room. And that's what you always did for us. Does it feel like a lifetime ago?
It does. I mean, I was wondering how long it was. I thought we arrived in 1984. I know that. So actually, I think it's 30 odd years since we first met. Would you say?
Yeah, it must be something like that. It must be 32 years. Yeah, I mean it's.
And for a while before you became rich and famous, we used to do the Sunday evening service together, didn't we? I would preach and you would play the piano.
Yeah. Well, I did both services.
Well, not the other way around.
All services, actually, at that time.
Yeah.
I took over playing, and there was a gap in somebody had left, and so I started playing, and I filled in, and then the fill-in became a long-term thing, and then I had children, and it was then I became, as you say, famous, not rich, but famous. And
they were good days. There were days when you could sing the songs, weren't they? Because they had a tune, and they didn't start in your boots. Anyway, let's not be controversial.
But I mean,
moving on.
Let's talk about that, because actually you're an organist, a music lover. You love classical music. But you love the modern songs as well. Because I came in at that time, I'd already been playing for Graham Kendrick for some time, and I was Saint Kendrick, as we call him, and I was bringing in all those songs that I was arranging at that time into St Saviour's, and it was quite revolutionary, wasn't it, at that time?
Yes, it was. And things move on. I mean, times change, and we go to our son-in-law's church. That's why we came to Derby, of course, because they were here. So that's another story. But and we love it. I mean, obviously we don't go at the moment, but it's crowded with people and lots of young people. And we just stand there bewildered. I mean, the music is incomprehensible and unsingable, but everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. So, it's no point getting annoyed. I mean, times change.
Yeah, and tastes, and definitely taste change. And I mean, there's no doubt. This whole musical thing is a very difficult one, and we simply cannot just not go to a church because of the music. But there are certain aspects of it that you think, come on, how about just a tune would be helpful of any description, and I think actually when they're all the same and they all sound the same, that's when we get a little bit more I know. We've had many conversations about this, but David, how are you getting on there in Derby? How's the life been in lockdown for you?
Yeah, we're okay. I mean, we arrived just 2 years ago, almost. I think fortnight ahead, it'll be 2 years.
Goodness gracious.
September 20th, says Sue. So yeah, we settled well. We got a lovely little house and garden. We're very blessed. We have the kids around the corner, Anna and Phil. But it's been a bit. I mean, I think for me, lockdown has caused me to have a delayed bereavement for the loss of Guildford.
Yes. Yes.
Because I think the first year and a half, we were getting to know people, the adrenaline was flowing, and then suddenly it all stopped, and we're sitting in this house, and we think we don't know one in Derby, really, beyond Anna and Phil. So we started thinking, oh gosh, all that, or I particularly have felt a bit bereaved. And I'm restless. I mean, Sue is very different. I mean, interestingly enough, she's the one with the bigger health problem. She's shielded, and...
Yes.
I mean, when Boris said, you've got to be locked down, we were blown away by that, really. And then 2 days later, we got a letter from the government saying your wife's a problem. Well, I mean, it was just good to get official confirmation, but but despite all that,
yes,
she's very peaceful, and I'm a bit restless, and it's. You
are. I think by nature you are like. We're not dissimilar. We're malcontents. I know that this is. We're restless. We are restless people. We need things to do. We need to keep our minds alive. You write. You've written lots of books, and if people are interested, that we'll talk about them at the end and how to get them. But you've written a book on Revelation, haven't you? For example.
Yes, I have.
And what was that? What was that all about?
Revelation.
Well, that's good. No, move on. Let's move on to.
Well, it was a very noddy type commentary on the whole of the book. I wanted to give a bird's eye view because it is a famously complex text to get into, and people say, we've done Revelation, by which they mean chapters 2 and 3, with the letter to the churches.
Yes.
But it is a complex book, and so I just wanted to try to give a down to earth preacher's overview of the whole thing. So that's what I did.
So decode it a little for people.
Decode it a little bit, yeah. I tried to do that.
I think actually, I've heard you preach on it, and it is magnificent. I mean, I've not. The book is quite stupendous. I mean, because it's not like a learned commentary. It's conversational, and it's it really gets people where they are, and that's which is your gift. You can write like that and make people feel. You do have a lovely writing style, I have to say.
Well, I enjoy writing, and I think I've probably sold about a dozen copies now, so I'm really pleased. It's going well.
You've sold a lot. David, go on. You were going to say.
I was just going to say this business of came across a quotation the other day of being restless is to do with not being able to focus on the present moment, and all through our life, Sue has said, just. Calm down, stop thinking about the next sermon or whatever, just enjoy the moment. There's a guy called Walker Percy, and he said, living in the past and the future is easy. Living in the present is like threading a needle. And I just love that quote.
Say it again. Say it one more time.
Living in the past and the future is easy. Living in the present is like threading a needle. In other words, when you thread a needle, you've just got to give total concentration to that one thing. And I found that a very interesting quote, and I'm trying to learn to live in the present.
No, hey, actually, it's very timely apposite for me. So that kind of quote, that's the kind of thing that that you would say on a Sunday evening would make a difference to me on a Monday morning. That's what, and we went to Lee Abbey together, didn't we? We had that fateful week, 10 days away.
Oh,
we both got ill.
Me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we're terribly ill after it, weren't we?
Awful.
Yeah.
But you preached a set of sermons, and you preached extensively without notes, and people were just enthralled by this, and I really encourage people. We're gonna have a song. I really encourage people to get David's book on Revelation, I think it's called Are We There Yet, isn't it?
Are We Nearly There Yet?
Are We Nearly There Yet? And Are We Nearly There Yet by David Bracewell. And I will help you if you want to find out and you want some light summer reading, sitting by the pool. What are you reading? I'm reading about Revelation.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be fantastic. We're going to sing a song. Stay with us, and we'll come back and we'll dig a bit deeper.
Okay.
There we go. I've lost the words. I can't remember, but we always sing this one. This is a song that I think we can pretty much say, chaps, that everybody that is going to sing with us in the choir, the virtual choir, start learning it. Start learning the chorus. You're not going to sing a solo. John Hick, okay? John Dick. No, that's the difference between David Hick and John Dick. And so John Dick, you're not singing a solo. And you're not appearing on the front of the album either, John. However many good ideas you've got. Here we go, mate. Here we go. When you're down and troubled and you need some love and care, when nothing is going right, keep your head together now and call my name out loud, and soon I'll be knocking at your door. Come on, sing it with me. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. When the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together now and call my name out loud, and soon I'll be knocking at your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. Oh, darling, you've got a friend. My sweet darling, you've got a friend. Oh, darling, you've got a friend. You've got a friend. Right, you've got a friend, David Bracewell. My friend is here. How are you doing?
I'm good. I was that was very disjointed on my phone. I'm ever so sorry, so I didn't really get that. But never mind.
You didn't get it on your phone? How did you not?
No. But
now I'm looking for something that has just gone off my phone, of course, and I'm now looking for a friend. There we go. No, not that one. And I'm going to just read a quote to you.
Okay.
A woman called Elizabeth Lickis, who in fact was an erstwhile attender of St Saviour's.
Right.
Now, she's gone away again. Here we go. She said, and I think she runs the music in her church, wherever she is. I don't know where that is. It's not relevant really. She said, I feel like a little rant. Please help me to understand the following. Today we had a lovely Sunday service with 80 people, all socially distanced, hand sanitizer, pews cleaned down between services, beautifully done and adhering to all the guidelines. We sign into the service using electronic systems so that we have a clear tracing, etc. However, I've been told that currently we only allow 30 people for a wedding service, same church, same guidelines, same care in keeping people safe. I'm not talking about reception, just the religious service of the marriage. That means currently cutting out immediate family on both sides. I suggested the service takes place in the normal Sunday service in the morning, as churchgoers, lots of guests are often attending the morning service anyway. But that is not allowed. How can this be right? Birth, marriage and death are rites of passage, and each has its traditions, and in our case, great religious significance. These are the events that really matter to people, whether they have faith or not faith. We need rules that are consistent and fair. I know that we're in a pandemic and we need to make sacrifices. Young people's marrying the church will obviously take the whole shindig, music, and are extremely rare, but are accepting that perhaps things won't be the same. The bride I spoke to recently accepted that large reception won't happen until later. However, let's give these poor couples and the bereaved a break. Many wedding couples have lost thousands of hard-earned pounds. These are generally young couples who are also suffering redundancy, trying to establish homes and paying off student loans. We need a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Make things fair. Just allowing them to marry with family and friends around them would help, even if the reception was later. Now she goes on to say, could the please government, can you please, and churches think creatively instead of having rules that are just block rules that don't mean anything, that become so inconsistent, and that we just slavishly follow them. That's what she was arguing. And I wrote back and I said, Elizabeth, I happen to wholeheartedly agree with you. Now, there are people out there who write into me and say, oh, how dare you, you're a mask denier and all this kind of things. And by the way, Elizabeth, you don't have to, the bride and bridegroom do not have to wear, according to guidelines, they do not have to wear, they are exempt from wearing masks. But David, when you listen to that kind of thing, as a previous vicar of a church and somebody whose son-in-law is in the church, what's your reaction?
Well, I mean, to a degree, it depends. The first question is, are the rules by the government or are they by the Church of England? I think in terms of the Church of England's attitude from day one, I'm just talking about the institution, the hierarchy, not about individual churches, which have done tremendous stuff, as being sadly compliant and cautious and negative. So right from day one, it was said that vicars couldn't go into their churches alone to pray. And for goodness sake, I mean, most churches are like car parks. The size of them compared with an aisle in Sainsbury's is ridiculous. So I was very upset by that. But it was an ecclesiastical edict, and a lot of vicars, I think, or many vicars, ignored it and did their own thing. So it's a delicate business. My concern is the impression that the Church of England as an institution has given to the nation. Now, I know the secular press will do anything to jump on the church, but even so, I've read so many articles which say, for goodness sake, this is sort of a nitpicking, rule-loving institution with no real creativity, imagination, and warmth. And the sad thing is that many churches have vicars who, are quite relaxed not to get back there too soon. And so they say, there's a lot of work involved in cleaning pews. Oh, goodness sake, get real. It can be done. Something came from our diocese. no one's listening to this conversation. It's just you and me,
well,
Jonathan.
Do you know what? No. And this is my point of having you on, David.
Right.
I want you to say these things because I think people have got to listen, and there have to be objections. And if we are not being a fifth column just because we object to things.
At one point, I got this thing came through, which I think this was quite late on, saying, look, one vicar can go into the church with one other person, but it must not be the curate. Well, I found that, I don't know what that's about. But then it said in black and white, and on no account must you have a prayer meeting. And I said, what? And it's so I think there is an issue. There is an issue of being cautious, and we know the terrible American stuff where people crowd into churches, say Jesus will save us from the virus, and that's nonsense. Of course, you have to be careful. But it's the mood, it's the impression. On one particular week, a few weeks ago, just two things flipped up on my screen. One was from a diocese which was just so cautious and negative and saying, don't rush back and we must fight this. And the other one was from a vicar in London who said similar things, don't rush back. But brethren, we are longing to see each other and be together. Now, there's none of that warmth in the statements. It's very bureaucratic. Oh, don't get me going, Jonathan. But there we go.
I do get you going. No, I do get you. This is what I want you to talk about. I know that from the top down, you're not thrilled with this top-down type of approach.
I've never been very good. I've never been very good. For now, I can say what I want. I'm not on any ecclesiastical ladder. Never have been. I'm on a continuous snake, really, going down. But it just makes me a bit sad. And I think you're quite right, Elizabeth, in her comment that rites of passage are ones where we've got to find how to be creative. We really have, for the sake of people.
Yeah, and I think actually because what is your impression as somebody, if you had been a vicar at this time, and this would be quite an interesting question, what would you have done? Given the edicts that you had to follow from Bishop Christopher or whoever the bishop was at the time?
Yeah, well, I would have wanted. I mean, again, you have to distinguish between if the government says we're going to fine you and all the rest of it, you've got to be a bit more careful. But if the bishop's saying what I think is overcautious, I think we would have the liberty. I mean, obviously, you have to consult with your eldership or whatever it is, so that you're not acting autocratically. But I would want to find ways around, creative ways. I mean, it can be done. And churches are most of them are enormous. Yes. Well, no, not enormous, but even I've been thinking of little villages earlier on in the pandemic, where the doors are locked, and I'm thinking of a small community with church wardens. If they're retired, they could be there with hand sanitizer, and you can let 10 people in, socially distanced, or 30 people to pray and to gather some sort of strength. I mean, we're all gone through a very, very bad time. And I don't think the Church of England has really, as I say, as an institution, has understood that and helped. So I'm not seething with anger. I'm quite relaxed, really. I'm an old man now. It doesn't really matter. But I am sad.
Well, no, what you're sad at together with me is this lack. If it were consistent, then if a consistent picture, then you could say yes. But in fact, where a government tells a church that it's going to shut and that on no occasion shall evict, we've had so many ministers that I've seen on here. What do you mean I can't go into my church on my own in the middle? How does that work? There's no logic to it. And so where there's no logic to it, apart from saying you might, and there's a very small chance that you could, what? I don't know. And in the big churches, just imagine from a singing point of view, we face prospects of not being able to sing in public until mid next year. What they're talking about, that's mid-June next year. We won't have worked, most of my colleagues won't have worked for a year and a year and a half. And there's so many mixed messages that you get. They talk about not playing instruments in church. They say instrumentalists are discouraged. Sorry? I don't get it. How would a violin in a church affect anybody? And how would somebody singing at the back of a church okay, singing a song at the back of a church. How is that going to pose any thought at all?
Well, it's not.
Apart from this aerosol idea, the idea that it's waiting and floating around in a mass. But they didn't. They wanted to go and worship at the great supermarkets and the shops and everybody else. And before mask wearing, right. Where's the consistency? There's no consistency.
And behind all that, there is just the feeling that we are being ultra cautious and watching our backs, really, which is not a sort of kingdom value.
Where do you see, I mean, David, we haven't got forever, but I just want to ask, where do you see the church at the end of
Well, my concern is for the future. It really is, because, I think, okay, the online stuff has been wonderful. And even, it was 8:15 before I could latch onto you, because I can never find my way around a computer. But anyway, I think the online has been good. I think it will continue. It will continue. However, I want to say, I know you've got a wonderful online community, so I might be rubbing you up, but that doesn't worry me.
No, that's never legit.
But it is not the real thing, in my opinion. We have got to be physically back together again. And I worry, I think many small village churches with elderly people may actually never open again.
Yes.
I think some of the bigger ones, obviously they'll be all right, but I think of Phil here, and he's got a congregation of maybe 200. And I'm thinking, Phil, if this goes on until next Easter or whatever, a lot of those people will have made new arrangements, will have moved on. You'll be starting again almost.
Yes.
And the Church of England, is not in a good way. The Chelmsford Diocese are going to lose 60 clergy in the next 18 months. Now, that's never happened before.
Gosh.
But they're still increasing the bishops. But let's not go on to that.
Right, 60 clergy, but they're increasing the bishops. Okay. I'll get into trouble for that. But again, I think I'm a little bit past caring of that one.
I suppose
I don't want to get into a debate about that, but I think actually what I do see that many churches that had people attending before lockdown have seen is what we mentioned last week. What happens is community. You find community where you can find community, and what people have lacked seriously, and the reason they've latched on, I suppose, to this online community is because we're live, we go out, we're authentic, we do what we do, and we try and care for people during the week in the same way. We pray for people, we think of people, those people who are not Christian, we care for them in exactly the same way as we would do for people who are not. And
well, that's right. And I wouldn't want to end on a negative note about the church and the Church of England, because the institution is one thing, but on the ground there is just such remarkable stuff going on.
Yes.
This love your neighbour thing, which has come out of the HTB stable, it's part of their bid for world domination. That's very rude. That's very rude. They're wonderful. And the stuff that's going on, the church is leading the way in many ways. Just to end with this, really, I think the challenge for me now, and it may be for other people, it's a lament thing, really, that somehow, we're saying when we get through this, when we're through the other side, when we're back to normal. Well, I don't think we ever will be back to normal. And I think part of the godly reaction is to say to God, I want to let go of the sort of lifestyle and values which contributed to this virus in the first place, and embrace a new sort of reality. I don't know what it'll be, and I think the church needs to take a lead in that. Vulnerability, care, compassion, and all the rest of it.
That is
good night,
David. That great. What a great way to end. David, I'm going to sing a song that, if you remember years ago when I was dying, 1989.
Oh gosh!
And do you remember that?
I do.
After you coming to my bedside and praying with many others out there who remember this, and you came into, and I had viral encephalitis, nearly died, and I came back after 3 months, and came back into the church, and you said,
you came back strong. We put all the bunting away. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. You said, could you sing a song? And I said, well, I don't know what to sing. And you said, why don't you sing How great thou art.
How great thou art.
And Clifford on the organ, he said, right, I'll give it a shot. And I had no idea, and I said, I don't know if I can sing it. I don't know whether I can still sing. And I sung that one, and there wasn't a dry eye in the house. And then you suggested me for Songs of Praise that year when they came, and my life changed drastically after that. So I just want to say, look, big love to you both.
Thank you.
And thank you for being part of this. This is you are and will remain in my head, my vicar, and as well as my friend. And so God bless you. And
thank you, Jonathan. That's so kind. I'll tell Sue as well. She's gone in the next room. She's got bored by now, but I'll tell her. Okay.
God bless you.
Love you.
Thank you for having me.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Lovely Sue. Bye.
Bye bye. Well, that was a lovely interview, wasn't it? That was lovely, and I hope you all enjoyed that. Did people enjoy it?
Yeah, they did.
And actually, I can only say, if you want to get his book on Revelation, it is a revelation.
Yes, and Claire has put the link in the comments so that people can find it.
Excellent. And please do go and buy that for it. It is great summer reading, and it is a revelation. This book on Revelation. Oh Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the works thy hand hath made, I see the stars, I hear the mighty thunder, I the universe displayed, and sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art, then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And when I think that God his Son not sparing sent him to die, I scarce can take it in that on the cross my burden gladly bearing, he bled and died to take away my sin. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art, then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art, when Christ shall come with shout of acclamation and take me home I'm weak, but thou art strong. Jesus, keep me from all wrong. I'll be satisfied as long as I walk. Oh, let me walk with you.
Through this world of toils and snares, if I falter, Lord, who cares?
With me my burden shares, none but thee, none but thee, dear Lord. Just a closer walk with thee, granted Jesus, this my plea. I'm daily walking close with thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. When my feeble life is old, time for me will be no more. Guide me gently, safely home to thy shore, to thy kingdom shore. Just a closer walk with thee, granted Jesus, this my plea. I'm daily walking close with thee. Let it be, dear Lord. Oh, just a closer walk with thee, granted Jesus, this my plea. I'm daily walking close with thee. Let it be, dear Lord. Let it be.
And that was particularly for Chloe. Chloe did an amazing thing today. She shared her faith story on Instagram with the youth worker from the church. And she did really, really well, really well. And she wants to say a massive thank you to all in the JV community for all your prayers and your words of encouragement and your positive thoughts. And she managed to share it really well. And her confidence is just growing in her ability to do that kind of thing. And she feels really blessed and loved by the JV community. And you can't say better than that, can you?
Very important to say this to all of you out there. So we've only got a few minutes left before we stop the show. But we value each and every one of you. We say it every week, but we value each and every one of you. From the people who send us messages, to the people who don't send us messages, the people who can't get on, who just about, like David Bracewell, can't find his way on until 8:15. But hey, we forgive you for that. And but each week, this is show number 19. So next time we do it, it will be show number 20. Okay. We have no immediate plans to change anything. This is what we'll be doing. This is what we'll be doing during this time.
We're
and
here
during this
if you're
community.
Here.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And as long as this community exists, we will exist, hopefully. And as long as I'm medically able to do it, then otherwise it's Sue going to be on the piano.
I was going to say, even if you can't do it, I'll do it.
You'll just pop on the piano. All you've got to do is about 40 years of piano lessons condensed into 1 week.
I can do that.
And then it's fun.
I don't know what you're making all the fuss about.
No, it's nothing. So just this week.
I just want to say that next week is a big surprise, and it's going to be exciting and interesting, and it's a big surprise for you, and it's probably going to be a big surprise for us too. So next week there'll be no Rachel's Challenge on the Saturday, but you will go straight in at 8:00 with a nice surprise for you on the Sunday. And then the following week, Rachel's Challenge will be back on the Saturday, and we will do... that's the Sunday, 23rd.
And that will be with Sue Rinaldi.
That will be with Sue Rinaldi. And that will be the end of the crowdfunding on that day, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
So the crowdfunding has another 2 weeks to go. So those of you who haven't given but would like to, it's there on the screen, thecrowdfunder.co.uk/Jonathan Vera. Thank you to all those who've been incredibly generous and who've supported it thus far. We are so completely blown away still by it all. So thank you so much.
And now we just as we go, we ask you again, as we always each week do, those of you who can afford to, give us a tenner or a fiver or £2 or £10 or whatever you can afford, because it's those gifts. And I was talking to somebody yesterday, and it suddenly occurred to me that we don't have any other source of income. We just don't have any other source of income. And what this has done, we've put it on, we've added the kit, we've done everything. We're playing, I practice, and we do things, and it's a show. And so that's how, and you have been our source of income in every possible sense.
Thank you.
We do not take that for granted. And what you can afford, you can afford. Remember, if loads of people give, then it's not such a burden to the few. But we thank you to those that have given, and have given in the last day even, and to helping our, because that money that you gave to crowdfunder is for the album, and we're still in debate as to whether we can take any fees out of it for, to pay me. I don't know. I know that a lot of you went, yes, of course you can. But depends, the album, it depends how it's all going to work. So we have to do it legally and properly. And we want it to be above board, really important. We said that right at the top, that there'll be it's in a separate account, and it will be paid out properly as a payment if it's done at all. It's been lovely sharing this evening with you. If you during this week, if you want any more records or books or things, we can't take stuff with us, but we can get stuff sent out to you as soon as we can.
Yes,
that's what we can do. If you order it tonight, then I'll sign it tonight.
We can get it
and then
sent
we can
out.
take it. We can take it
with us to the Isle of Wight, and we can post it.
We can post it out. Fine. But that would mean you're doing it tonight.
Yeah.
And that would be Hymns Project 1, Hymns Project 2, loads of all the albums. You can go and listen to them on your computer. You can do that.
And thank you to those who've ordered them. They are at the lowest price that they will ever be at. Everything's £8, and just Hymns Project 2. Hymns Project 2 is £10, but everything else is £8.
But we're making about £3 ourselves on each copy. So we're not becoming rich through it. Okay, just so you know.
But we are grateful for everything.
Everything that comes in, every £3 is £3 more than it was the day before when you got nothing. So.
And this is tonight for Alison Biggs. Your husband has tipped us the wink that it is your birthday on the 13th of August and that you love this song. So this is also for you, and happy birthday for the 13th.
And actually what's so interesting, this morning I was flooded with messages from people all over the country saying, it's on BBC Radio now. BBC Radio Bristol, BBC Radio Sussex.
With a younger sounding JV, that's what someone picked up. Yes.
Very much younger.
Yes.
2005 that was recorded.
Yes.
But through the violence of these days, give freely, show tenderness in all your ways. Through darkness, in troubled times, let holiness be your seek wisdom Godspeed you, God lead you, and keep you wrapped around His heart. May you be known by love.
Be righteous, speak truthfully in a world of greed and lies. Show kindness, see everyone through heaven's eyes.
God hold you, enfold you, and keep you wrapped around His heart. May you be known by love. Well, until we see you another time. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you His peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you His peace, and give you His peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn His face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn His face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you, and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn His face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you His peace, and give you His peace. Amen.